questions thrown in a crystal ball. Am I selfish cause I want it all? I don't know how to feel attention. Love it when you kiss me slow. I hate it that you have to go. At least we both know it's real. So call me up when the nights get cold. Tell me things that you've never told. There's no way this is the last time you hold me. Cause it just might be too late if we let it slip away. Gonna feel so out of place if we let it slip away. Wherever we go, we already know. We already know. Wherever we go, we already know. We already know. I've been waiting on this all day. What's it gonna take to stay? Our bodies should cause a scene. Memories burning like a wildfire. What we got, it don't expire. No matter the space between. So call me up when the nights get cold. Tell me things that you've never told. There's no way this is the last time you hold me. Cause it just might be too late if we let it slip away. Gonna feel so out of place if we let it slip away. Questions thrown in a crystal ball. Am I selfish cause I want it all? I don't know how to feel. What's it gonna take to stay? Our bodies should cause a scene. Memories burning like a wildfire. What we got, it don't expire. No matter the space between. So call me up when the nights get cold. Tell me things that you've never told. There's no way this is the last time you hold me. Cause it just might be too late if we let it slip away.
Well, hello, everyone. All of us 4 people in here right now. It's so good to see you all. Long time no see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mars? Marcy. Welcome in, Nance. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in just so long. How's everyone? So today's topic is, are you a yes man or woman? Are you a yes woman? This is going to be an interesting conversation, to say the least. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. Okay. How the heck are you, Nance? Let's see if I can get all this wonderful stuff to work since I haven't been here in so long. I want just a window. So, my question of the day is, are you a yes man? A yes woman? The yes type? So, a yes man is a person who agrees with everything that is said. If you didn't know, it's like a strange terminology that is used, I guess, when you're always agreeable, when you're always basically kind of being like a doormat, I would say, in a type of way. It's fairly unhealthy to not have your own voice. And this happens a lot in domestic violence, is becoming that yes person. Like, whatever you say, dear, kind of person. Hi, Equalizer. It's so good to see you. Marzi girl. I guess its first known use was in 1912. So can you imagine them using this word back in 1912? I think that's kind of odd. I guess it's not really a word. It's a kind of like a statement. A person who agrees with every opinion or suggestion of a boss. So I guess this could be used in like the term, actually, no, I can't imagine it either. Like, I totally can't imagine like back in 1912. I guess that would be for the men more or less, more than like ladies back then. With men with their bosses, like, I guess in today's, they would call them like ass kissers. So this would be, the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of times we get caught up in situations where we are constantly having to be agreeable with someone. If you have another opinion, then it can affect you where you don't feel comfortable voicing how you truly feel about a situation. Let's see what else we have for this. Oh, there's a whole movie on it? That's interesting. Like, I wonder what this movie would be about, kind of. Let's see. A person, especially a man who agrees with everything that someone says, a person who supports the opinions or ideas of someone else in order to without criticism every opinion or proposal of an associate or supervisor. In order to what? In order to what? I didn't see the rest of that. Where did it go? In order to, maybe to prevent conflict, you think? in order to prevent conflict. Meaning, so the film, it says Yes Man is a 2008 American romantic comedy film directed by Peyton Reed. And it's based on a true story. Hola, sisters. Hello, hola, sisters. Without giving it a thought. That's what I was looking for. So here it says someone who agrees to everything seemingly without giving it a thought, usually a diversion term suggesting the person is mindless follower of what whomever they are agreeing with. Awesome. That's awesome, hola, sister. You should show me. You should come show me. Marzi, you're welcome to come up. I've dropped the link in the chat. The last one hired, first one fired. Huh. What is a new broom? I wonder what this one means. A new manager. Someone to come in and make the changes and clean up the hot mess. Welcome in, hola, sisters. Marzi. It's all welcome, Marzi. Hi, Marzi. I can't hear you, Marzi. Marzi. Welcome in, Tony 801. It's good to see you. Marzi, I still can't hear you. How are you doing, Tony? I think Marzi's trying to figure out her mic stuff. I know. R.I.P. Marzi. Marzi. Oh, she hopped down. A person who agrees with everything, seemingly without giving it a thought. It's very interesting. Oh, the baby dog is growling. Wow, look at Ola, sister. She's trying to get some digits. Welcome back, Marzi.
Can you hear me now?
Oh my gosh, I hear you very well.
Had to check my settings. There's another audio program that was trying to take over.
Oh, is the one that we recently downloaded?
Yes.
Oh, we've got to do that sometime.
Now, you're looking up all this information on Yes Men, which I think is awesome. And I was doing the same. And one of the ones that I read said that it's a person that is agreeing to everything in order to get ahead.
That too.
So, hi, Tony. How are you?
You would think that it would be something like uh, someone agreeing to something to get their leg up on a situation,
Right.
maybe. Um, or maybe even because it says they're doing it without thought. So when I think of that, I think of, like they're doing it without thought. So that means they're taking whatever that person's word is 1,000% without having a mind of their own. Like they are unable to make their own justified decision on something.
Yes.
Like what if that person is wrong?
I don't know. Thank you, Tony. I'm doing well. Yes, thank you.
I wonder what Ola Sisters has. She said she did something all by herself. I can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah, me too. And she asked for a way to contact me, and I told her that she can get that from you.
Okay.
It just my phone is not working well today, so she may have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, one of my phones is indisposed at the moment.
Now, mine's just been acting up big time.
Do you have a fire alarm that's beeping?
Oh, please. Guys, I am so sorry.
She has a pet parakeet.
Yeah. Yeah, let me apologize right now. In my apartment, I have 5 windows. I had 3 of them open. This was like 5 days ago. And anytime I turn my oven above 350, and I had it up to 400 because I was making something that required it to be at 400, it'll set my detectors off because they're heat and smoke. So 5 days ago, it set it off, not once, but twice. And I thought I had it handled with 3 windows open, but apparently not. So it'll chirp like that for a little bit. So I what I'll do is when I'm not speaking, I'll mute myself so as not to annoy everybody.
Oh, I think the only person it's really bothering is you. It's not bothering me. I think it's
it's
cute.
bothering me something horrible.
It reminds me of a little parakeet.
It
does.
Is it bothering anybody in the chat? And it's funny because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fire smoke detectors in my apartment, which is a 1-bedroom. It's not really that big to have 4 detectors, but I have 4, and it was the one in my bedroom that was going off, but now it's moved out to the one right outside of my bedroom.
Is there a reset button on it?
No, there is not. And I've actually called maintenance out a couple of times, and they said you just kind of have to let it go through its thing. And they're not battery, they're wired. They're hardwired, so it's not like it's a battery dying or anything. So is it bothering anybody in chat? Is basically what I need to know.
It's not bothering me.
That's
I hear it pretty well. So, I mean, it just sounds like there's a little parakeet back there.
Oh, so if it is starting to bother anybody, just let me know. And I'll mute.
Well, there's really only 7 of us in here right now, so I don't think it matters anyway.
That's true. That's true.
So how the heck have you been, Tony 801? Chirp.
Oh, God. No. It's just one of those, like now it's getting on my last nerve constantly, but it wasn't during the day. It was mainly at night when it would wake me up out of a sound sleep doing that. It's like, ugh, annoying.
Sure. Inky, inky. At least you didn't call me Stinky Inky.
True.
But I can be a stinker. Yes, I can. I won't lie. I can be an ornery little shit sometimes. That's how I take it. Sometimes you have to be the better person. Yeah, sometimes not so much. You all know what I mean? Okay. I will behave. I promise.
Can we show my new grandbaby?
Yeah. Let's see the new grandbaby.
Okay, gotta open up a picture. All right.
Let's see that baby.
Let's get
How can I do this?
to StreamYard. All the sisters, you really need to look at this. You're really gonna like this. Window. There it is.
Oh. Oh, how do we do this? Oh, we could add you. We could add this one. Oh, add the stream. Oh, how do we do this? Cancel. Okay, we'll look at the puppy dog first. My leg went pop. Pop.
Oh. So can you
look at the baby.
This is Bartholomew. And he's my new grandbaby. My daughter got him today. So, but he's adorable and he is full bred Yorkshire Terrier. He's a Yorkie. All right, I'll stop sharing.
Oh, that was just too cute though. I want to know how they did this.
Did what?
Dynamic grid.
What is that?
I don't know. I want to know how they did it. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they did it. Oh, what is this? What is this button? Move to back layer. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, let's try this out. Oh, we could put that down and then we could take this and we could move it to the back. Nope, move it to the front. No, we'll take this one and move it to the front. Move it to the back. Dang, Nabbit, how did they do this? Man, I'm going to be sitting here for like days trying to figure this out. That was no fun. Oh, well. Could you see that going on?
Oh, I was looking something up. I was looking up pros and cons of being a yes man.
Oh.
Yes. So did anybody in the chat see what he just did? Ooh.
What?
Hola, my leg might pop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Maybe she cracked her hip on accident or something. So what did you come up with on this yes man subject?
I'm still looking it up. I can give you, let me give you a link. There's one about the pros and cons of being the yes man at the workplace. So that might be interesting. I will put it in the back chat. And you can kind of take a look-see and see if you want to check that out. But I'm looking for like in general.
Let's see. Let's see what the pros and cons are. Share screen. We want to share a window, and we want to share this window. Okay. Add to stream. Okay. Well, hello, Joelle. Welcome in. It's good to see you.
Well, this is another good one.
The pros and cons of being a yes man at the workplace. Are you the yes man at your workplace? Me, I am not. I cannot claim that. Know the pros and cons of being a people pleaser. So this is almost like codependency too.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. When you find it hard to say no to anyone around. That is very hard for me. That is part of my codependency. I do have some codependency issues. When it comes to that, I do have a tendency to try to help people out. And sometimes it does get me in trouble in a way, and not always a bad way. It just, sometimes it gets you in positions that aren't conducive to your health or lifestyle or whatnot. Let's hide that. Let's see. People pleasers. I hope everyone can see that. Do you want to read or do you want me to read?
Oh, I could read it. Let me see. I'll come over here onto StreamYard.
You know, my favorite is like reading novels and like reading them in like not third person, but first person.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jane. Yeah.
I'm not that talented.
Oh,
I read the Twilight series out loud for my sister and somebody I was dating, and they really liked it. I was like, oh, well, okay.
Oh, that's my favorite, to be read to sleep for someone. That's why I listen to a lot of YouTube at night. It puts me night, when someone's reading to me or I'm listening to people talk mostly in monotone. Right. But if they're really like expressive, it'll like wake me up if they're all of a sudden loud.
Yeah, I like to listen to something at nighttime when I'm going to sleep too. I'm trying lately to put on like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, but okay. People pleasers. People pleasers are always the eye candy of managers and colleagues. They come to the rescue. Oh, they come to rescue for everyone when in need. Everyone trusts them and keep them as backup options because they never say no. And hence they get the title of being the yes man in the office. It cannot be denied that there are multiple benefits of being people pleasers. Colleagues love you for your generosity and humility. But on the contrary, your work-life balance will get amiss. You will juggle to manage personal and professional commitments. Being a yes man is not an easy job. It requires patience and wit to balance personal and professional life. Here are the pros and cons that every people pleaser faces at the workplace. Read on to find out. And I'll hand it over to you.
The pros of being a yes man. Having a friend who is always ready to help you is a wonderful feeling, especially if that friend is your workplace buddy. You will always stay out of trouble and you will have a name in the good books of the manager. But ask about the plight. Is that how you say that? Plight?
Yes.
Of that friend. He or she might be having other friends at the workplace who are purely in touch just because they know there is a people pleaser who will never backfire their expectations. Knowing there is a people pleaser who will never backfire on their expectations. I think on is missing in that sentence. I could be mistaken. A people pleaser is adored by all. be it your manager or coworkers. Everyone will always keep you in high regard for your benevolence.
Mm.
5, time management skills to master before you're 30. 2, portrays you as a reliable source. Because you're always saying yes, you're not being combative. So they're always going to look at you as that reliable source, that loyal one, so to speak. A yes man is never expected to say no. Whether it's early morning meetings or late night party, you're always expected to turn up on time and stay late. Hence, company sees you as a valuable and reliable resource to bank upon. You are always the first one to be approached for a new project because you don't know how to say no.
Right.
Colleagues in management will expect you to volunteer for tasks in which others are not interested. Just because you have demonstrated your full potential, so the company always takes pride in rewarding and appreciating you to set an example for others. Sometimes, but they can also use you and abuse you. Because if somebody else doesn't want to do their job, they're going to use you to do it.
And I wonder if those rewards include like raises or promotions. But I don't think that they do that often anyway.
No, I think they're just relied upon as to do the work other people don't want to do more than often than not.
Right.
Offers opportunities to explore new ideas and tasks. People pleasers often get to experience new things every now and then. They are the ones who are willing and unwilling to get a chance to interact with new faces in organizations. You will never experience boredom in your profile because your plate that always is overloaded with new dishes every day.
Mm.
You're never going to get bored if you're never saying no.
That's true.
But keep in mind, we all need that time for ourselves. And if we're always saying yes and we don't say no, then you never get to do anything that's just for you. And
Mm-hmm.
it can cause a habit of a learned habit is not the right word. A learned illness as codependency after a period of time. Oh, cons of being a yes man. People pleaser often loved by others, but it's indeed a difficult job. They suffer most because they want to keep up with their image. So let us take a look at the cons of being a yes man. Would you like to read? Or do you want me to keep it?
No, I could take over if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, so number 4, lose time helping others. You will fall short of time to complete tasks of your KRA. I must have missed what KRA stands for. Others will pack your schedule with their tasks and responsibilities that at times you will be questioned about your efficiency to complete your work within deadline. Time will fly for you, and the hands of the clock will appear running at a pace of light year. So make sure that you offer only that much help that you can manage within official hours of the job. This I know. Can you? Oh, I was just going to ask you to scroll. Bear burden of unrealistic expectations. Saying a no will become a tough call for you. The day you deny someone any help, they will create a negative image of you because you are expected to accept every challenge that comes your way. You will find many people who will have unrealistic expectations that are beyond your capability. This creates a misunderstanding that is hard to overcome. I'm not going to read the blue thing because I think these are just little links to other things. Number 6, work-life balance is interrupted. It cannot be denied that you will struggle to strike a balance between personal personal and professional life.
That's what
You'll
I
be,
said earlier.
you
Yeah.
will be expected to give presentations and submit reports of other projects on the same day. Where on personal, I guess it means where on the personal front, you might be expected to attend a family gathering. During such demanding days, you will regret being the yes man to all. You want to do the intelligent tip for you?
Hmm. Intelligent tips for you. Limit your generosity and prevent building an image of always ready to help everybody anytime. There are other ways to make your colleagues respect you and your opinions. Understand that being the yes man doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It's about zeroing down on what is important in your life and what will enhance your current skills. So this could be anywhere from this is all work related, but you can use this in your personal life too if you're that person that's always saying yes to friends or family at in your home environment. But it does, flow over into your work environment. And most people that are yes people um, tend to have it in both areas, not just their home life, but also in their work life, which can be very tasking. Because what if you have a bunch of people that need you doing home stuff, but now you've already committed to doing everything at work stuff? You know, you know what I mean?
Very good. Yeah, that's a really good thought.
Okay, let's go to this next link. Let's see. Let's see if I can zoom this in, if it will shrink
This is
stuff.
kind of this was just something for people to try to figure out if they are in fact a yes man or yes person, I guess we should be saying, because we have women in here and men in here.
Okay, so let's see. Are you a yes man? In the world of self development, saying yes is often spouted out in a way to open yourself up for new opportunities that you wouldn't have previously thought of or embrace life as it comes to you. Let me scroll that up a little bit. There was even a whole Jim Carrey film. Jim Carrey's in this film. I'm going to have to watch this film. Or maybe, there we got some homework, kids. Maybe we should watch this and then come back and reflect on it. So, like, this is the pre course to watching the movie and finding out how we can kind of like um, see how it affects our personal lives. I'm sure there's not a whole lot of us in here right now that are yes people, but there could be a couple. Okay. Yes Man was made about this very interesting thing. But if he also was in that, what was it? That movie, the one about the TV show,
Oh, Truman.
Truman Show. That was another crazy flick. I
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey. I do. Jim Carrey's a great guy. It sounds a lot like Jim Terry. They're about the same amount of funny. Okay. Moving right along. I'm smiling. I didn't get my fucking pillowcase. Okay. Nance is probably laughing. I was in top chat, nah, instead of live chat.
Hi, Ray.
Oh, Huggy Bear, lost boss lady Nance eats all the time. Huggy saw her eating pizza at the campground.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
did.
didn't even offer Huggy Bear a bite. Oh. Well, hello, Ray.
Oh,
Welcome.
that's very nice of Ray. Ray says, I'm just here to wish everyone a restful and peaceful day/night. Bless and love you all. Very
Welcome in,
sweet.
hun. Offer humbleness, most definitely. Me make soda. Okay, where was I at? Oh, I left off at Jim Carrey. Okay. Um, okay. Made about this very thing. But if you've had the chance to watch the movie, you would also know that it is saying yes all the time can get you into some undesirable situations. Whether you're responding to requests that require your own personal investment or to requests made to affect your team or organization on a whole. I would say in a whole, but or as a
Mm.
whole. As a whole. Maybe I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Saying yes to everything is not always a good thing. What's your motivation behind saying yes all the time? To start to flex your no muscles. And those are hard to do. If you're used to always saying yes, it is so hard to learn to say no. Um, I've had family members that I have helped out throughout my lifetime, and they know that I'm the yes aunt or yes sister or yes wife. Yeah. And I was taught to have to put my foot down and just be like, I have to learn the word no. Okay.
Important.
It is. Okay, so what's your motivation behind it? To start flexing your no muscles, it's important to understand why you keep saying yes. So why do you keep doing it? Self-gratification. I think in a sense it gratified me. It made me feel good to help out other people and for them to tell me thank you. So when you and this can go back to childhood. I think Marzi, didn't you take some psychology?
Yes, I did.
So when we're raised in an environment where you're not being edified a lot throughout your childhood, you seem to seek that out in other ways, whether it's through a partner or being a yes person, because you get gratified for it and it makes you feel good, but sometimes it's not healthy. Okay, where did I leave off? Is it just that you don't know how to say no in a polite, caring way? Because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right? No, Ray, don't go. We like having you. But thank you for coming. Is it that you're not actually all clear on your own capabilities, values, or goals of those of your team, friends, family? Or is it the most common problem you are a people pleaser?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. When you say yes all the time, you become one, overcommitted, squishing things into your calendar and unable to focus or dedicate your time to just one thing at a time. No doubt. Stressed. Too much stress to deliver on. Deadlines crowding your brain with lots of people relying on you. Stress can easily creep in. Stress can do a magnitude of things to your health, to your body. Um, it makes you produce cortisol. It can make you gain weight and not weight from overeating. You could starve and still gain weight, and it's cortisol levels that are raising. Where did I leave off, Marzi? Stress, too much.
Unable to deliver.
Unable to deliver. Oh, that would suck. Like you're like, okay, I've committed to all these things and not one thing gets done because your brain is so going in circles and you have a little bit of everything done, but nothing finished. Unable to deliver. Say yes to everything and you will eventually run out of resources to deliver.
Yep.
A point of frustration for your team. An overloaded team will only become more frustrated as you approve more projects than you need to work on, especially if you have no clear motivation that you can understand or that they can understand. And, I had to take a small break from YouTube. I'm just dealing with real life business stuff. Not that YouTube isn't part of my business stuff, but dealing with real life business stuff and, my health and stuff. And so I had to say, hey, I need to focus on A and B and worry about C and D later. It's not going to go anywhere. If I can't handle it, somebody else can. So the little small vacation was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ray, I do crazy nice music on my side if you guys are interested, but I'm not here for self promoting. Hey, Ray, if you have a channel, hun, drop your channel link in the chat. We would love to hear it.
Ray's got some really good advice in the chat. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes,
Love that.
most definitely.
Love that.
Ray, if you have a channel link, put it in the chat. Oh, actually, I think it's over there. Put it in the chat down there. That's so weird because, like, I'm mirrored. So it's like, yeah.
Oh, Nance did it for us.
Well, thank you very much. Here, let me grab that link.
I think Ola Sisters is feeding Huggy Bear right now because Huggy Bear's tired.
Aw, she's feeding him. Is that like her virtual baby bear?
No, she's giving him, what is this, grapes, blueberries, a pear. I'm not sure what came before the blueberries. Bread, a coconut,
Sometimes you feel like a coconut.
steak, and some pizza. What is that green thing between the grapes and the blueberry? Is that a melon? Ah, Jimi Hendrix guitar.
Are you reading his little channel?
No, I'm reading what he's putting in your chat. Ray, do you play them? Like, do you play an instrument or
me?
No, Ray.
I subscribe so I could go back
I
and
play a
check it out
bunch.
later.
Okay, he plays a bunch of instruments. Very cool.
That is awesome.
And
Do you
he
know if you're able to play musical instruments, read music, that a section of your brain opens up that doesn't typically open up for people that aren't musically inclined?
I didn't know that.
hmm So, for instance, do you remember Einstein, Baby Einstein?
Yes.
Those books, and they had classical music in there, and you would have the babies listen to classical music because it helps open up portions of their brain that normally aren't tapped into unless they've listened to classical music or learned to play a musical instrument.
Oh, that's cool. It sounds like it's kind of along the lines of if you want to teach a child another language to start when they're young, because that helps. I don't know, their brain is more open to it or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Yes, and if you one of the things that I did is, like, you play you know how I was mentioning, the other day, I said, just grab the dictionary and just learn a couple of words each day out of that dictionary, and it helps expand your vocabulary, and you could actually get the dictionary and have it read to you while
Mm-hmm.
you're sleeping, and you'll actually learn these things, like, while you're
Yes,
sleeping.
yes.
Yeah.
I have a friend who is teaching himself French because he aspires to travel to France someday. And I suggested that to him. I said, get some, I don't know. I guess people don't use cassettes
Synchronicity.
anymore, but get some CDs or something that teach you French and listen to it at night while you're sleeping. I think it's supposed to help you absorb.
Oh no, what have you done? So our word for today is synchronicity.
Woohoo!
Like synchronized swimming is beautiful.
It is. Ray is French.
He says, yes, he says, I am
But
French.
no France baguette.
Baguettes.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ola Sisters is speaking in French.
To this Frances. Francais. I think it's Francais.
Okay, can we speak in English? Like, what did you say? Either of you.
He said, see French. So I think she says, or do you speak French? And he said, yes, French. She goes, "Me go Russian." She's so darn cute.
She is. Oh, Canadian French. That's what sea French means.
Oh, I thought he was saying C as in yes. Because do you know French and Spanish are very, very close?
Okay, so I'm supposed to
Mhm.
copy this and Google it to see what it's saying. So it'll translate it for me. This is what he's telling me. Okay.
Equalizer says butt stuff.
Oh, I don't think it's saying that.
No, that's what EQ says. Butt stuff.
Oh my gosh. Everything is now written in French. It's not. It's I've done this before with other languages.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to go back to reading.
Oh my lord.
Okay, unable to. Okay, the point of frustration. I think I already read that. The pressure to continue saying yes. After a history of saying yes, you become the go-to person to get a new idea or project approved. If you are concerned about pleasing people, it becomes very difficult to say no after such a track record. I wonder what she's saying now. It wouldn't be anything too bad.
We hope. No, I'm kidding. I found it.
Okay, Ray. We'll see you in a little bit, Ray.
When you sleep, you may have a more open mind. That's what he said.
So why should I say no? You cannot do everything. Personally, you cannot take on too much for yourself, but your team are also limited. Time, money, energy, and other resources you need are all limited. If you are unsure that any of these resources will last for an eternity, the entirety of the request being made, it's good enough reason why to say no. Like, so basically it's just stating, like, evaluate the situation before you say yes or no. Is this something that I have time to do right now? Mucho amore, amigos. Much love to my friends. Okay.
Number 2.
Would you like to read or do you want me to continue?
No, you keep going.
Okay.
I just thought you lost your spot. I'm sorry.
I know, because I do that quite frequently. Thank you. If the request doesn't fit with your goals and values as an organization or individual, there is little point in pursuing something that isn't propelling the team forward to the big goals. If the request doesn't fit, just say no. Nope, this doesn't suit. Maybe you could say this is above my pay grade.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
It's above my pay grade. If you are focused on not offending someone rather than reality of the request, saying no might keep high spirits. Saying yes now might keep spirits high. But if resources are low and likely to run out, it's better to say no and feel a little bad than to be unable to fulfill those requests later on down the track when blood, sweat, and tears have been invested. Recognize when you are people pleasing and say no. It's not about being blunt. It's not. Hi, Out of Bounds. Welcome. No, it's not. Gemini guy. Hi, Gemini guy.
Hello,
Gemini guy. You're always welcome. You're always welcome to come up too. And it's not about being blunt. You might be able to I'm not very good at sugarcoating anything, but I mean, you might be able to say it in a way like, I don't even know how to sugarcoat it. Like, I can't even think of a way to say it without being blunt. I have had to learn to be blunt because I would probably murder it trying to sugarcoat it.
I think you and I are like opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to that. Because I'm not really good at being blunt. So I'm more a sugarcoater.
Yeah. Well, I used to be a lot softer spoken when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I realized that me just being direct and to the point doesn't mislead anybody. Let me say it that way. I had a habit of misleading someone into me being so agreeable. Like, I got myself in some pretty awkward positions, even, oh, would you like to go and have coffee? Oh, sure, where I really don't want to. And then I felt like uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I can relate to this more of in a sense, because I've been so independent and worked for very few places ever. I've always been independent employed. So, excuse me. So I relate to this more on a personal relationship level or with friends or family than I do in a workplace environment. Now, I can say I have taken on jobs that I wasn't sure if I was capable of finishing in a timely manner. So, for instance, I would say, someone wanted their dress altered, and I'd be like, oh, that would only take me probably about 4 or 5 hours. But I already had so much other stuff stacked on my work list that I didn't get it to it for a week. Even though that job typically really would have only took me 4 hours, I still had other jobs previous for me to get done. So sometimes, yeah, some things would wait, even though the job was very easy. And it was just because I prioritized things like, yeah, I could have or I should say, I wasn't very good at prioritizing sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I would say, okay, well, this job already knows, like in my brain, I'd be like, I would want to get the first one done instead of saying, well, they're already waiting on that one. Let me just bang out this one. You know what I mean? I wasn't as good at that because I felt guilty that I wasn't dedicating my work hours on the clock towards that job that I had already started. And I think that's part of my ADHD though. Because once I get started on something, I don't want to put it down and then forget where I was at or lose something that went with that specific job. Chirp, 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 chirp.
Oh.
You're like, damn it, why did you have to remind me?
Yeah, I'm trying really hard to just ignore it. It's not happening though. Oh.
Okay, it's not about being blunt. Saying no is not always a pleasant experience, but there's no reason why some diplomacy can't be employed in the task. Don't decide too quickly. Weigh up the pros and the cons. Take every idea and request seriously before giving your final answer. Delegate. You might not be able to take everything on personally, but there is a way someone else can take on the task to alleviate the pressure. Don't write it off immediately just because you can't take it on right now. Flag ideas for later. Something might not be possible right now, but show your team your value, their requests and ideas by making sure it stays on the table for a later date when resources are abundant. Listen to your gut feeling.
I think a lot of us neglect that.
Oh, putting a pin in it and saving it for later.
Listening to our gut feelings.
Yeah.
I know I do.
Let's see.
Workshop. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Workshop requests. If it doesn't fit with your goals and values, throw some ideas back and forth to see how you can shift it to fit better to propel the entire organization or situation forward. Ola messaged me and she said, I think EQ's playing me.
Uh-oh. What's he doing?
Oh, okay. Where was I at? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, saying no is never easy, but it can save your team and you a lot of time and frustration and hurt down the track. Here's a number. If any of us have an issue with it, it's out of the country, I believe, but it's okay. You can always probably go to the website. I believe this is Australia because it says
Oh.
.com.au. So this is something from Australia. Yes, you. Oh my goodness. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, what else do they have to teach us? Member, sign up, login, welcome. People make a difference. Let's see.
This is some good information.
How about this one? 7 tips on how to steer clear of being the yes man or
Ooh.
yes woman. Okay. Can you help me with this? Yes. Do you like my new haircut? Yes. Oh, don't ask me that. If something doesn't look right, I would hate for someone to tell me something looked good on me and it didn't. And they let me go out in public. Sure, that bright pink hair looks great on me. On me. I'm saying on me. Other people, it does. On me, I had to wash that pink right out of my hair. Okay. Do you always say yes? Yes. Should you be such a people pleaser? No, not at all. You might face this at work, at home, or even in your social circle. Being a yes man or yes woman does more bad than good if you consider your own needs. And when you consider your own needs, some people will call you selfish because they want a yes person. They'll call you selfish. They'll call you a traitor. They'll say you're not being loyal. All those things. Teletubbies theme song. No, we are not playing the Teletubbies.
Oh,
Lola. Okay.
yeah. No, thanks.
That was B M or BH before Hola. Okay. 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 Blah, blah, blah. Let's see where we at. You might face this at work, at home, or even in your social circle. Being a yes man or yes woman does more bad than good if you consider your own needs. The faithful yes attitude indicates that you keep your relationship one way. You might love the acceptance and approval you get by making them happy. Isn't that what I said before I ever read this?
Yes.
It made me happy. It was that gratification I was thriving for. And then I learned to gratify myself by being able to say no. Like, that is like really, really hard to do.
It is.
Or always being there for someone. However, what about your own needs? What about your respect? Most importantly, what about your own happiness? And I lost a lot of my happiness without knowing when I would have myself in a position I wasn't happy with. To say the 2-letter word and give yourself the freedom to choose your own path. Here's how you can bring yourself to say no more often to avoid being crushed, walked over by people all the time. And that's what I was saying, that you will turn into a doormat. you will turn into a doormat for the person that is utilizing you for that yes, man or woman.
That's a good point.
Yes. And I see that a lot on here. Like if we don't agree with something or whatever, then we're not being loyal or whatnot. Sorry, you guys couldn't see it, could you? My bad. Tap the link. Oh, I don't want to tap at the link. Okay. Moving right along. Recognizing this problem. Many times people don't even realize that they are, yes, men or women. They might believe that they are just being kind or obedient or likable by saying yes all the time. Fix your grammar equalizer.
Oh my God.
Hola, sisters. Stop yelling at EQ.
Oh my goodness. She is
Behaviors.
something else.
Behave yourself in chat, young lady, or you're gonna get no ice cream tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Think about it. Think about how many times you said no to someone in the past few days. How about the past week? How about you, Marzi?
How often I've said no?
Mm-hmm.
Actually once. It was work related. I took on a student that was just too difficult to manage, as far, as what I was able to do for the student. So I had to bow out and say no. So, and I didn't feel good about it, but I knew that it was better for me to back away and let someone else take that student on tutoring wise, because I would not have been able to help that student achieve the goals that they were looking to achieve. So,
What
how about
what
you?
have I said no to this week? I said no to any bobo tea. I was able to say no to Taco Bell today. I was able to say no. I'm not gonna let some things that have been misconstrued to overwhelm me. And the next day or so, make sure those things are clarified. Hello, Wes Robinson. Welcome in. It's good to see you, love. So, and that's even with, it can stir up anxiety. Like if
Mhm.
saying yes to your brain is a huge feat of learning to say no. No, I'm not going to let myself dwell on this. No, I'm not going to let this get under my skin. No, I'm going to stay on the right track. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on this. I'm not going to let this bother me. So that's just something that's emotional that you can deal with within yourself. It doesn't even have to do with another person.
Right.
I'll use an example. So earlier today, a situation arose and I was like, I can't send a link right now because I'm in the middle of doing something else. Not that I didn't want to, but I knew that I just couldn't at that moment, even though I could have stopped, paused, and then did what I needed to do. Sometimes we do have to say no, and we don't mean to be gruff. And I'm so direct sometimes. I do sound like I'm barking, but not intentional by any stretch. It's no excuse though. At certain key moments to your needs. Yeah, because we need to focus on our own needs. We need to focus on our own personal needs and what we're capable of handling, not just physically, but emotionally.
Right.
Yeah. Not an addiction. It's a candy now. Okay. You gave it a meaning. It's a candy now. Okay. You gave it a meaning. It's candy now. Not an addiction. It's a reward. Yes. I need another cig. Can I give you a huggy? Huggy Raiders, where's your G friend, Mad Mabels? I don't know. She's not blocked, so she's always welcome to come in. You need to control your lust and give meaning to your needs. You need to control. You need at control lust and give meaning to your needs. So when I read that, I think of a lot of people do feed into lust. They do. They feed into obsession. And they don't realize real love is not the bells, whistles, the tingly feeling you get all over your skin. That's lust. And you have to put your needs first. But that's a whole nother topic that we can discuss if you want, Ray. Definitely. Feeding into lust and desire instead of, being equally yoked with someone. Let's see, where was I at? Think about how many times you said no to someone in the past few days. How about the last week? This doesn't have to be verbal no. It could have been, sorry, I am a bit busy right now. That's a nice way to say it. My plate is already full this week. I can't take on this job. I would love to do this project. Can we postpone it till after I'm finished with this? This on my plate already. Oh, okay. Talk to me about this later. That's a good way to say it. Like, what if someone's pestering you about the discussion that you don't have an answer for? How do you feel about this relationship? I love that question. How do you feel about this relationship? Oh, I don't know right now. I have so much other on my plate. It's not on my plate at the moment. People keep asking, how are you? Splendid. Splendid. Marzi, I tap this link from your phone.
Oh, what link?
It's probably the Teletubby link. She found you, Marzi. Okay.
Oh, she's giving me a link to go and check out. Okay. I will, I promise. A little bit.
Or I think you should try another one. If you find that your no or rejections are exceedingly infrequent, you might be someone people pretend to like because they're using you. Very true. But in reality, they don't like you at all. They don't like it all. People pleasers. Once you have recognized this problem, attempt to change it. And that goes through a lot of hard work. It does. Think before you answer. Marzi, would you like to read?
Do you have it on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'll read for you. I have both my YouTube and my StreamYard open, and on the YouTube screen, it still has the other one. And this is good because this is what I was actually just thinking about. Number 2, think before you answer. Whenever someone asks you close-ended questions, think before you speak. Someone might ask you to do them a favor with a little butter on top of their words. Beware of these situations. It might not be something you want to get into and will probably regret later. Give yourself a minute or more to think about your decision. You don't have to say no right away. If the action needs some thought or time to consider, ask the person to give you some time so that you can ponder over your choice later on. At least it's better than saying yes. They might even take it as a no and resort to someone else if the errand is urgent. And that's one of the things. I guess when I was going through my bachelor's, and we had a communication course, and that was one of the things that they really pressed on us was even if somebody's not asking you a favor, but they're asking you a question, it's okay to take a minute or two and collect your thoughts before you answer. And if it is a favor being asked, it is perfectly okay to just ask that person to give you a little time before you answer them. And if
Mm-hmm.
that's not okay with them, then they are perfectly within their own rights to go ahead and ask somebody else.
And don't be upset by any stretch if they do go ask somebody else. It's not because they didn't want you to do the job, especially if they asked you to do it first. But a lot of times we take it personal. Oh, that person's doing it now. And we can't feel that way. We can't take it personal,
Right,
you know?
right.
And then you'll be like, sometimes you'll think to yourself, well, if I don't say yes now, then they're going to tell me they're not going to come to me next time. And that's where we get insecure with our strengths and our weaknesses.
Can I read the next one also? Because
Oh,
I
yeah,
am like
most
the post
definitely.
the poster child for this one. Number three, put yourself first. This isn't going to be the best advice in every situation. But let's just say that putting others first in every situation won't be great either. Sometimes, or maybe most of the time, you have to put yourself first. It's a basic survival instinct humans are born with to protect themselves in hostile environments. In doing so, they learn how to be strong, resilient, and build a place for themselves in society. Have your own plan to follow, schedule to attend to, and tasks to do. Don't let others dictate your life. And
Mm-mm.
I actually went through this twice in my life when I was like maybe late 30s, early 40s. I just realized that my plate was absolutely overflowing, and I felt as if I were missing out on things that were important to me in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to start practicing saying no, not to everyone and not to every request, but just, during times or for requests that I felt that person could probably do best on their own. And then I kind of, I mean, I lived that for a long time, but I kind of felt out of that like 2016, 2017. And I think it was because I was in a position where I all of a sudden became the matriarch of my family. And I don't know, had this sense of, okay, well, I have to take care of everybody now. And that ended up resulting in a heart attack. And that's why I always say I'm the poster child for put yourself first. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I never in my mind, heart, or soul thought that I would end up that ill. and I did, and it was a lot for me to struggle back to where I am presently. And when you're the yes person, you're not used to other people taking care of you. So
Exactly.
that was something I had to learn to accept and be okay with in life.
It's
So
very
anyway,
hard, especially when you've been independent for a long time and someone offers you help and you know that you can't do it because you're so used to being independent. And then you figure out, like, shit, I really needed help with this. Should a mother put herself before her children? Well, if there's no mom, there's no one to take care of her children.
right.
That is my answer to that. Now, putting your children before another person, yes, it's mother, children, and everyone else. Unless you have a spouse, then it's mother, children, spouse, family, friends, etc. If there is no mom, if we go back to the biblical days about this is to answer Ray's question. If you go back to the biblical days, the mother is the tender one. She cares for the children. The father is head of household. He's the one that answers to God. A lot of us I know may not be or be religious, but this is fact. This is how the biblical days were ran. And when it's not the mom that has to answer to God for the decisions that are being happen in the home, it's the head of the household, which is the male. Um, and it was very uncommon for a female to raise children alone
Hmm.
in that era when this was written. In today's society, things are a lot different. So, the Bible has to be taken into today's context, not the past, not how it was 5,700 years ago. Being that we're in year 5783, Common Era. So, in today's society, if you look at how the past, how the past repeats itself.
Hmm.
So, if you look at today's society and you have a relationship and say the mom is not putting her kids first or not putting herself first, and then the kids, if there's no male to provide for the home, no one to answer. You know what I mean? If
Yes.
there's that, without that male role model there, and there's no one there to answer to, it says females nowadays are not happy. And I believe you're right. And I believe that's because women have put themselves, what I was getting to is put themselves in a position of masculinity. They are no longer in a position of femininity. We've had this conversation before on my channel about knowing your place and knowing how to be feminine. Not saying you can't have an equal rights job, but within the relationship unit, within the family unit, there has to be a feminine and there has to be a masculine. I'm sure Gemini can attest to this. Um,
What?
yeah, Gemini's a little softer, so he carries more feminine traits, and so he can be with someone that is more masculine female in that realm,
I
which
mean,
Gemini has mentioned before.
I'm pretty well. I guess you could say. I don't know. I can.
He's not moist equalizer.
And yeah, I have a good heart. Can't help it. As I like to tell people, I have my mom's heart, my dad's exterior. So I'm as soft and fluffy as a cushion in the inside, but I'm as hard as a metal on the outside. So there's that.
And a thing I wanted to bring up too is when you're a parent, you're not just a parent. Like my children are adults. You're not just a parent until you're child reaches a certain age and then you're done parenting. It's until, and as far as I'm concerned, it's until I draw my last breath. I mean, certainly they don't need me for a lot of the things that I used to do for them or with them when they were little. But, I mean, some of the needs that they have changed. Well, a lot of the needs that they have now have changed, and that's to be expected. But they still need from me. And, a lot of times it's just so I can listen to them. Sometimes it's because they're encountering things in their adult life that they haven't encountered yet, and they know I have. And how did I manage? Just so that they can kind of, put their own thoughts together on how to handle something. So, it's that's how I feel about parenting, and I truly believe that the most important aspect of my life, following myself, are my children. They are, and my grandchild. So I try to not say yes to somebody or a certain situation unless I know that it's not going to interfere with me caring for myself or being there for my family. And that's it. Anybody? Crickets?
I'm listening.
Oh, I'm done. I actually need to step away for a moment, but I'm going to stay on panel, but I'm just going to mute for a minute. Oh,
I'm still here. What do you think, Gemini?
I don't know if I should speak my opinion on this one. I mean, to me, it's all, I don't know. It differs on the person. That's all I can say. I mean, yeah, I'm a yes guy. I can admit, I'm a yes guy myself. But that's only because I do that to try to be as what's the? I'm trying to think of the right words to use here because I want to make sure I'm also being accountable for shit. Like, I don't know, I'm a yes guy because I want to please the person I'm with or please the people I care about. So that makes me a yes person for that reason. But it doesn't mean I won't put my foot down and say no to certain shit. It just I don't know. I'm just more of a yes person just because I want to be helpful and I like putting myself out there for people.
Welcome up, EQ.
Hi.
That's the answer you're looking for, I'm assuming. Hey, Ray.
What's your relationship with your mother, Gemini? That's what it says. This worst question you'll ever get. That's the worst question you'll ever get.
So,
I believe men that have really good relationships with their mothers tend to be more compassionate with their wives. Or if they were raised, by a single mom or without a mom, even, they're less likely to be abusive to their spouse.
what up,
Go
people?
ahead.
I was going to just say, I'm very close to my mom. I mean, but then again, because of the reason I'm so close to her, we actually butt heads a lot too, because of that reason. The main thing we butt heads on, if I'm being honest, is most likely going to be religion, because she's religious, I'm not. And I have my reasons not to be. She has her reasons she is. So we kind of butt heads on that aspect. But, I mean, I love her. We get along. Well, when she was around, we got along really fucking good. I go out for dinner with her as much as I could. stuff like that. Like, because I'm not much of a going out for dinner person unless it's like, my partner kind of thing. But she loves going out. My mom was one of those people who love going out for dinner, loves going to hotels and shit like that. Just loves spending money pretty much. My dad, not always, but I was always the person who kind of picked up that slack when my dad didn't want to do it. So, and your dad, Gemini, my dad's doing okay, right? I mean, he's trying to balance himself out as best he can. It's never easy. Especially losing the partner of your life, the one person that you devoted yourself to for the rest of your life, and then now they're going way before or she's actually balancing out. So I don't think it's going to be bad for her, but they are talking about moving her down to a facility in LA, which will be like an hour away from us or a couple hours away from us. So that would suck, but it's the only facility out here that can take care of her right now. So there we go. I don't know if that was too much.
I'm back.
So
Chain
now you
Uncle
guys say
Barnum.
what you want. Because it got
Okay.
really quiet after I said it.
Okay, so the next one is look at the positive aspect of saying no. Your no can be disappointing for some at that time. However, consider what would happen if you said yes and you aren't able to deliver. That would do more harm than good to the relationship because you haven't clarified because you haven't clarified expectations. The yes man can't possibly say yes to everyone and give them what they want. Clearly, everyone is a human and is limited to mental, physical capabilities. The no you said earlier would be less disappointing than a failure to deliver, arrive, or do something you promised you would.
Yeah, I definitely need to be up on this panel for this.
Yeah. So, for instance, if someone has made an arrangement with you and you're depending on this person to follow through with this arrangement, and all of a sudden they realize they should have said no,
Mm-hmm.
and it uproots everything and everyone in that environment, or causes mass conflict, or puts you in a position where you can no longer provide.
Well, from experience, I've noticed putting someone in that position is like you don't realize you're doing it, but at least I didn't realize I was doing it. Let's be honest, I didn't realize I was doing it. Because I was kind of being selfish about it, I guess. Because me, I'm the type of person who loves to spend time with someone and constantly be around them and shit like that. It's just the way I am. But it's like at the same time, it's like when you sit there and set someone up like, hey, let's hang out, hey, let's hang out, hey, let's hang out, hey, let's hang out, and then it's like, they of course they're gonna want to say yes because they want to hurt your feelings, but at the same time, it's like you're setting them up for failure too, just in case, like for example, hey, they're not feeling well, but they're gonna say yes to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings, but when it comes down to it, they're really like, I just want to say no, really, because I'm not feeling it, or I just want to be alone, or whatever the reason is. Like I notice I set a lot of my friends up like that for failure, and I get mad about it half the time, and that's just stupidity on my behalf, because it's like, why am I going to sit here and get mad at you for trying to force you to hang out with me, and then when you can't do it because you do have your own personal life, which I understand and accept, but I'm so selfish about it, I get pissed off, like, fuck, I want to hang out, this or that. It's like, that's selfish. That really is selfish of me, and I see that now, and it's like, that goes into that factor. It's just like you can't sit there and plan something out a week ahead of time and then expect that, and like, today's the day, we're gonna do it, right? Something came up, I can't do it now. It's like, I've been planning this for a week, why? And then the other person feels like shit because they had to say no. That's not fair. It really isn't.
Okay, just be honest. Yes, people are not being honest with themselves or others. If you catch yourself saying yes or okay, and that's me, I say okay, I'll do it, to everything, you are actually getting into a bad habit of lying. It's a form of lying. having too many jobs on your plate that you can't fulfill in a timely fashion or as to be expected.
I just want to address this real fast. Ray, listening to your man gut, talking from experience, that's not always the best.
Well, you have to basically you have to think about it, marinate on it, regurgitate it, and then be like, okay, what is the best decision for me to make?
Yeah, see, I always act on my emotions. That's my problem. So that's something I'm still to this day having the hardest time trying to learn is not to act on my emotions. I need to act on logic. So that's one of my biggest flaws. I'm not gonna lie.
Here we go. In the long term, people will realize that you aren't being honest and upfront about your own thoughts, which can be quite disappointing for them. So if you're not being honest with your true inner self and what you know you're capable of doing, then you're not going to be looked at as. So for instance, I kind of got myself into a situation where I was segregated to a certain area in my life. And in all honesty, I wasn't completely ready to cut strings with other commitments that I enjoyed doing. And it got me in a position to where they thought I was being dishonest, when in reality, I should have just been upfront from the beginning and said, like Danny was very good at this. Like she enjoyed hopping around to different channels, and she was, she pegged it from the beginning, like that she liked to hop around to different channels. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, yeah, I get you.
And so for me, I was kind of like, well, I'm not fond of what's going on right at this moment. Instead of me saying, well, I'm not fond of what's going on at this moment, like little bits and pieces, I kind of just cut ties. And when in reality, there was things that I still liked, and I would still go over there every once in a while and watch. Which in reality, I wasn't being actually. I basically was kind of lying, because I wasn't being honest with how I truly felt about a certain situation. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. I feel you on that. Marcy, Equalizer, any opinions on that?
I'm probably not compatible with this conversation. I just want to see your inner self.
I wasn't compatible with the whole beginning. That's why I didn't say nothing. As soon as we started getting to this, I'm like, I'm compatible to this. I can get into this.
No, I mean, I agree with a lot that's being said.
I don't. I agree with all of it.
If they think you are always trying to please them by telling them what we don't want to hear, they might pass you off as someone untrustworthy or fake. Exactly.
Maybe.
Ouch. Okay.
So we do have to learn to be honest, even if it may hurt someone's feelings. And that's where, I had to be upfront on quite a few fronts, where I'm like, I do enjoy being at this place, or I do enjoy hanging out with this person. Like I had a good friend of mine, and yeah, she had a drinking problem, but I still loved her to death. And I still enjoyed being around her. Or when her and her ex separated, I had to be upfront with her. And I'm like, but I still enjoy hanging out with your ex, not to hang out with him in a weird personal way. But, you guys, they were together for like 7 years. I was like, you guys are like brother and sister to me. You know what I mean? So I stayed friends with both of them, and it made her uncomfortable. Even though she was my best friend, she also needed to understand that I had grown an attachment to that person from being around them for so long.
Yeah.
Some people would disagree with me, but that's how I felt. And I was trying to be honest about it. Eventually, they won't be hanging around or asking you close-ended questions anymore. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. So what if you don't like someone's new haircut? You don't have to be like, that looks like shit. You could say, well, I kind of liked it long, or I kind of liked it this style. Where did EQ go? He done freaking run off on me.
He might have accidentally hit the button.
He didn't have his seatbelt on.
He fell off. Uh-oh.
Honestly, I'd probably just be like, I don't care what you do. You know, what you like is what you like. What I like is different. I don't judge someone on their hair. I don't give a damn. A girl can be bald. and I'll still take that.
So basically, what if you are dating two women, but you're not being in relations with them? You're seeing two women, going out to lunch, having a good time.
As long
Okay.
as it's platonic, yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, you're dating. Dating is about dating multiple people at once and figuring out who is the best choice for you. Settling down with one person and being fully committed to that one person is a completely other story. You can hang out with, oh, here, EQ is back.
Well, I look
Welcome back. You can hang out with multiple people and get to know them on a personal level without having sexual relations with them.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Boring.
even if you want to test drive each car and figure out which one feels the best, that's up to you. But what I'm saying is
Hell yeah.
that it's part of learning that person and who is the best person to suit you and you suit them.
Go deep.
That's what dating is about. It's not about finding someone that you like on the outside, not knowing who they are on the inside, and then saying, shit, well, what if Becky was better? And then you have regrets.
Yeah.
So it's about dating multiple people. I'm not saying being a slut. I'm saying dating multiple people and getting to know them on a level over a period of time and saying, is this conducive to my life? Is this compatible with my life?
I mean,
Am I compatible to their life? That's a good way to use this section right here.
well, I mean, for me, dating is a little bit different, but yeah, you know.
Well, dating is dating. Like,
I mean, well, I don't date. What I'm saying is, I don't date multiple people when I'm trying to get to know someone. I date one person at a time. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get to know you.
well,
and you and
that's
me.
called commitment.
Well,
You're
it's not
you're
really-
committing yourself to that one person.
Hmm.
That's commitment.
Well, if that's what I'm doing, then that's what I'm doing. But to me, that's what it is. It's just like I focus on one person. If I don't like you, I'll let you know and move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you just wasted all those months.
It's
You
experience.
only have
Something-
one life.
I know, but it's experience and it's knowledge. It's something you build on for the next relationship. If not, you know, fix yourself.
Are you gonna do that when you're 90?
I might not be with anyone when I'm 90 for all I know. But I'm just saying, it's experience that you can use for your next relationships to help that one better and make it actually last, if not work forever. Or it could be something to help you fix the relationship that you're in right now or don't have and you want to go back to. Who knows? Anything, any kind of reason. But the thing is, it's
Yeah, but what if you've committed to that person and you're like, man, me and Becky aren't like clicking right now. Like this ain't good. And you're like, Jeannie over here, she's like the cream of the crop, and you kicked her to the curb for Becky, and she's just like, nah, screw you, man. You done kicked me to the curb instead of hanging out learning both of us and not it's so the difference between like dating, hanging out, and sleeping with somebody, you're not sharing that oxytocin high, I guess. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I mean, I know a lot of people who are like that, who sit there and just like date like 4 or 5 people at multiple times. I don't know. I just never could do that. To me, it's just.
See, I think what you're
can't dribble like that.
misunderstanding is if you commit to one person and you spend, a year with them, 2 years with them, and you learn to tolerate things that you wouldn't typically tolerate because now you feel obligated.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're just dating or hanging out with people outside of that sexual realm, you're able to not feel obligated to that one person, and you're able to see who you truly are more compatible with, which is more humane for anyone involved in my eyes. It's like you go to school, you have 3 girls that are cute, okay? And you like hanging out with each of them, different lunch days. You're not sleeping with them. You're not committing to them. And you're figuring out which one is the most compatible for you. I mean, you can test drive them. Like EQ said, you could test drive them and see which one drives better. You might like this one's personality, but she don't drive very well.
But please
You know?
just-
That's right.
No, I get what you're saying. It's just I don't know. Like I know I'm kind of like what's called not double. I don't know. I forget the word, but I can be kind of contradicting on this or whatever. But it's just that's the way I am. Like I agree with everything you say.
Indecisive.
Indecisive. Thank you. I agree with everything you say, but I still look at when I date someone. It's just like, yeah, if you want to use the word committed, then that's the word I'm going to use. Like I still commit myself to a person until I figure out if that's what I feel like or not. Like it's just I don't like the feeling of feeling like, hey, this is a competition. Who can get me to fucking like them better? Like I don't like that. And if you're gonna make me have to compete with someone else, I'm sorry, they can just have you. Because if you don't know my worth, I don't need to sit there and try to get to know your worth.
Yeah,
Well,
but
nobody
as
comes into anything knowing your worth, you need to like establish that.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
So at
but
the beginning of
the thing
anything, it doesn't just happen that way.
they should be, but that person should be equally willing, just as I will be equally willing to want to get to know you and see that worth. But if they're not willing to go that distance as you're willing to go, then it's like, what's the point?
so here's another tip for you.
Just saying,
There's this thing that's called a honeymoon period. Can last from
Mhm.
anywhere from a year to 2 years. And that's where people don't show you the real them. It can last.
Yeah, they still try to hide farts and shit, and they're just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's what I call the representative period. Like you're meeting a representative. You're not meeting that person. You're meeting someone who's just representing them and trying to get them to look good until they have you. And then once they have you, their true self comes out. And yes, that's like a 6-month period.
No,
But
it's
that's why
that can
it's
go up to 2 years.
Oh no, that's why I'm who I am right off the bat. I show people who I am right off the bat. If I'm too much for you, I'm too much. If I'm like not enough for you, then I'm not enough for you. I don't know. Like, but that's how I've just always been upfront because I don't like wasting my time, and I'm not trying to waste your time. That's why every woman to this day who I've ever dated has I've chosen because I knew they weren't a waste of my time. They were someone worth dating and worth being with. Like rather if it worked out or not, which obviously I'm where I am now. Like I have love for every one of those people I've ever fucking dated, and it's just like they're all great people. It just wasn't either the right time or just not the right person. You were just there to learn something from each other. And that's why you will end up with each other. So you're better prepared for that person you do end up with. Whammy! I mean, that's just my way of looking at it. Like I said, everyone has their own way of looking at it. That's just my way. A relationship doesn't work if the person is willing to actually commit. Right?
Yeah, but they can't commit until they know you, and that's out of a period of dating.
No, what Ray said. He says no relationship will ever work. I'm just saying, it's like you just said. Yeah, you got to get to know the person and know, if they're the right person for you, then you can commit to them.
Yeah, but you're committing off the rip. That's what I was trying to get at.
I'm not putting my heart and soul into anyone when I first meet them. I'm just giving them who I am, letting them know who I am. And then once I know that they accept me for who I am and they start seeing my worth, that's when I'll start actually putting some more effort and more actual commitment into it. I mean, it's not like my eyes are not all over the place when I'm dating, but it's not like I'm going to sit there and give every girl my number who I think's attractive either. Or I'm not going to sit there and take every girl's number who comes up to me and says, hey, I think you're cute. Take my number or let me get your number. I'm going to be like, listen, I'm talking to someone. If that bothers you, whatever. But as in the meanwhile, we can be friends. I don't know. I'm different. I'm weird about that shit. My parents brought me up to just be like my dad, like I said, I was brought up to be way different than all that other shit that's out there today, how people act and date and shit. I'm just...
EQ, how do you feel about the situation?
Dun, dun, dun.
To test drive the bus or to commit to the bus? Or the driver, sorry. To test drive the bus or commit to the driver?
I'm 50-50. I'm not gonna lie.
EQ's being silent. Okay. Don't be sorry. So what if you don't like someone's new haircut? What if you have other commitments you can't do a favor in a given time? Hey, you're only human. Why should you be sorry for saying no to something? By being clear or honest, it's not your fault. You're not going to jail, so don't feel guilty about your decision. Remember, The right kind of people prefer honesty and forthrightness to dishonesty and deceitfulness. Recognize that there is always a choice. If someone is asking you, evidently they have more than one option. Understand that that person is giving you a choice, not a command. And you are your own judge of what is best for you.
You know what? I like that one.
I agree with all that.
Yeah,
Me too.
I like that.
Right
one.
there with you.
So what do you think?
I was talking and you couldn't hear me, but test drive everything. Never buy a car without test driving it ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, exactly. You go out and you buy a car. I say test drive that beach for a long distance drive because you know what? Alley seats are not that comfortable when you have to be stuck on a long distance drive. Coupes
Or
are not comfortable on a long distance
if
drive.
you
You
don't
want
want
to
to
fucking
test drive
Escalade.
it, hit me up. It's a new service I'm offering. Test Ride Your Bride. And then that way
Test
you can
drive
see
your
if
bride.
I'll let you know if it sucks or not. I'll give you a rating. It'll be
No,
like a
I-
Yelp review.
Don't get me wrong, Inky. I'm definitely test driving before I fucking commit. I mean, I ain't trying to get in a relationship where a girl doesn't even want to go down on someone. That's like, to my opinion. It's
What if
Oh
you
my
get in a
God.
relationship and you're
I
going to get
God,
married and you find out she doesn't even
little
have
baby
one?
Inky's not still in here.
sorry.
Marzi, what's your opinion?
No, I agree with what you were just talking about. I mean, when it comes to finding somebody to have a relationship with, I also think it's important to kind of sit down. And I mean, I'm into writing things. I write down like what's acceptable in a relationship and what is a definite deal breaker, and kind of look for someone who falls into those categories. And it's also important to be communicative so that you know what their expectations are as well.
I guess I'm a pushover in that case. I mean, I'm kind of flexible with
Oh.
anything.
We lost Equalizer again.
Oh, he forgot to wear him seatbelt.
Eh,
Oh, there him's back. EQ.
excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Being silly.
Put a battery in that smoke detector, somebody.
It's mine and it doesn't run by battery. I'm sorry. I'll mute.
Yeah, I hear that your battery is bad. That's what that means.
It's not. It's not a battery.
I'm pretty sure most of those will have a spare battery in it just in case the power of the house goes out and it's not getting any power.
Oreo!
They're supposed to rely off that battery. So it should have a battery in it, and it's just telling you that the battery's low just in case the direct power doesn't kick in.
Oreo!
I used to install those a lot. Hey, cabrón, motherfucker. Good job.
Oreo! He's not looking happy.
He's on business right now.
He can't hear us.
Nope. But he can hear your fire alarm.
No, he cannot. I'm muting. I'm muting.
Huh? Oh, the ding ding thing. Oreo cookie.
He's in murder mode.
Wow.
He so badly wants to murder something. Just grab it by the neck and crunch.
Crunch, crunch. Well, that was a
Okay.
great topic, and maybe we'll do it again. I think I'm going to watch this movie and maybe reflect on it in my next
What movie?
stream. Called The Yes Man with Jim Carrey in it.
Oh.
Haha.
You know, it's okay to be a yes man in some circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Like,
If you're in
honey, I
business,
know
it's
it's
good
3
to say
a.m.,
yes.
but I'm excited.
No,
Yes, ma'am.
get your own drink. You know, like if you're in business, it's good to say yes and then figure out how to do it.
I've had to do that before. I have had to learn to improvise on things
Oh yeah,
because they looked a lot easier than they were when I got them. When you actually
yeah.
start
Things
tearing
are
stuff
not always
down
what
and
they
you're like,
appear.
wow, this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
But
But you get to learn.
if you never, yeah, you gotta. It's kind of how you learn. It's fine. It's never backfired. Could one day, I guess.
Learning.
I
Never.
think there was only maybe one. Yeah, maybe one. And even then, I still
The
figured
most,
out how to do it. It just took me longer to figure it out.
the most incredible job I ever had. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm just like, yep, and it was amazing, and I learned
Wasn't
from
it? Wasn't it edifying?
It was something-ifying.
Yes, most definitely.
It turned
Okay,
into a
you all.
huge job. It turned into a lot of. It turned into a real long time thing. It was pretty cool.
Mhm.
This has been an amazing topic, and I appreciate you all so very much.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock, and I have to get up at 6 a.m. So,
No, you don't.
yes, I do.
Just say no.
For sure.
Just
It's
say,
okay to say no.
just say yes.
I heard the topic. I was like, oh, I got to come up with this.
It was great. Thank you, Marzi. I love you muches.
All right. Have a good night.
I know
I
she's
love you
beeping.
much too, my dearest.
Thank you, Gemini, for
You
coming
too.
up.
Bye.
I appreciate you.
Bye, Gemini.
For sure.
EQ, it's always great to
Yeah,
have you,
yeah,
EQ.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you, sweet pea. I'm going to get down now.
Marcy,
Okay,
go have a
lovely.
good night.
Bye.
Sleep well, Gemini.
Have a
Bye,
good-
Get your new
Equalizer.
battery.
Mr. Ray,
Get a battery.
it's been a pleasure of having you in chat. Maybe someday you're welcome to come up, or if you feel like coming up, you're always welcome to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
It's
up.
been a lot of fun. This was a great topic. I really, really enjoyed this discussion because it happens more often than not in our life that we've said yes
I
to
missed a
things
lot of
that
it.
we. So it was basically about us learning not to say yes to everything and being, as a business owner, I had to learn to say no to some things, but for the
Yeah.
majority of the time, you're right. Some of the best jobs I ever did were ones that I didn't know anything about what I was doing, and I had to learn as I went along.
Figure it out and delegate and move on.
Mm-hmm. The only hard part was saying, okay, well, this took me a little bit longer, but I'm not going to, and I did. I got in a lot of trouble for this, but with myself, because I'd be like, even though this job should have probably taken me 4 hours to do, it took me maybe 12 because I had to learn as I went.
Yeah.
So I would be like, well, it did take me longer, but I'm not charging you for those extra hours because that was still a learning curve for me.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes I'll get a job and I don't want it. And I'll say something like, well, I'm not real familiar with that, and I don't really want to learn on yours, so let me refer you to somebody else. I use that line all the time, too, and it's something I just don't want any part of.
And you know what? That's a nice way of saying no. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yep. And no's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's a hard thing for us to learn sometimes.
Yeah.
But
All
thank
right,
you
well, have
very
fun.
much, hon. I love you muches. Mwah, 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 mwah.
See you later.
You all have a wonderful and blessed evening. Guess what? It's almost Friday. We have a good weekend coming. We'll probably even play some bingo. So, Ray, if you like playing bingo, we do have bingo night and we have bingo for cash. It's a $10 buy-in. If you bring 3 friends, you get to play for free. We do have pull tabs also in stacks of $75 or $60 with instant winners of $225. Okay? I love you all. Mwah. Mwah. It's donated to a great cause, Ray. It is, I have a nonprofit. It is for domestic violence and sexual assault victims. So you're more than welcome to donate or just come and hang out. Love you all. Mwah.